Welcome back to SK Hobbies AZ. This is going to be part 1 of 5 parts in my RC basics. This part 1 is going to talk about the differences between a hobby grade RC, which we've got a Traxxas eRevo VXL brushless. It's a 1/16 scale RC versus the Bezgar monster truck. We'll do a little quick unboxing of it. We're going to pull the hoods off of both of them. We'll bring you up top and you guys can see the differences between the two. And we'll then I got a couple of my kids. They're going to come out and play with them for a little bit and drive them around, and we'll do some filming of that, and then we'll bring you guys back up to a conversation level with me, and we'll talk a little bit about them. Let's get started. All right, so the Bezgar monster truck. It says it's a metal series, so you guys can kind of see this. You know, they say it's a toy grade series, so we'll kind of give you guys some shots of the box package. So it does look like the shell does come off a little bit, so we can take that off. So it might be a little bit more advanced level than what we would get with you know, a standard big box store, but this thing only cost $18, so it's not a real expensive RC, but it, you know, we'll leave the opinion up to you guys on what you guys want to get for you or your child. But there's side of the box. There's a picture of the truck once we get it opened. The other side of the box. And then there's the back. So it does come with a rechargeable battery pack. So we'll see what we got here. So let's get this thing opened. Looks like it comes with a warranty card from Bezgar, and a little controller, which looks like we have a screw right there we got to take out, but that should take some AA batteries. And then here's the truck. Comes with a instruction manual, several different languages, and then we got in here a scoot the truck over a little bit right here. We'll get all of this out. So it comes with a charging cable. Looks like it comes with a little screwdriver. I imagine that's probably for taking the shell off. Comes with 2 batteries and a card that says this battery takes about 3 hours to be fully charged, and then the RC car is able to perform. After installing the battery pack, first we should turn on the power switch of the remote control car, and then turn on the remote control power switch for frequency pairing. So that kind of works a little bit different. It's having you turn this car on first before you turn the controller on. And most of our hobby grade ones, we have to turn our controller on to make sure our controller or our transmitter is on before we turn on the car's receiver. So let's see here. It looks like we've got these little shell clips here. Looks like they are rubber. It's just a piece of rubber that goes over the end of it. There's 3 of them. And then this cover comes off. So it's got little shocks on it. Little tiny suspension. Let's see, the scale that this thing says that it is it says it's a 20 scale. So we'll get it opened up and we'll go from there, and we'll kind of look at the insides of it, and then I'll bring over the E-Revo and we'll put them side by side and take a look. I'm going to show you what the box looked like for the E-Revo when we got it. So there's the cover. As you can see, there's the capability of going 50 plus miles an hour with the added pinion gear that it comes with, but it comes stock with a pinion gear that'll get you to about 30 miles an hour. One side of the box, the other side of the box, the front of the box, the back of the box. So everything that's pictured here is what it comes with. So it comes with the, of course, the car, that's the electronics. So that's the battery it comes with. It is a 3-cell. It's a nickel metal halide Traxxas power cell battery, 7.2 volts. Comes with a charger, but you can always buy optional chargers. It does come with a little tool kit. This is the controller. It is the TQI Wi-Fi enabled, so you can link it to your phone, and all you're needing is an additional 4 AA batteries. All right, here is the other side of the box where it kind of shows you everything interior to it. You're also looking at, it's got a waterproof ESC and motor, the sealed differential, the shocks, it does have a transmission, and then there's the electronics, which that's the TQI receiver that comes inside of that sealed box. And then of course they state that they have high current connectors, and then you also have high quality hex hardware, which my recommendation is on any of this hardware to upgrade it to some nice stainless steel hardware. All right, so it looks like in order to get down to where the electronics are in this car, we got to loosen these 4 screws right here, and then this cover comes off, which I've already got those loosened. So we'll take and pull this cover off. Thought I had it loosened. And that looks like the electronics. There looks like the motor is encased back here, which it looks like you'd have to figure out about getting the tires off in order to get to that little motor, but as you can see, that's a little tiny little motor box right there. And then the steering linkage is inside of here. So very plasticky, but you know, for the size, we'll see what happens. And then you got an E-Revo 16th scale right here. I did modify this a little bit. These little pins on here are a pain in the butt to get in there. So what I did is I attached Velcro to the side of the battery boxes, which I'll show you. And that's a hobby grade Traxxas right there. All right, so I believe that this circuit card right here is your receiver that receives the signal from your controller. So on this guy, we have a box that's right here. Inside of there, we have a hobby grade receiver. Motor-wise, this is the motor. I've got a aftermarket Traxxas heatsink on it to help dissipate the heat. This right here is what's called your electronic speed control, which is, everybody calls it an ESC, and then you have your shocks, and you have a steering servo, which I believe this is all controlled electronically. There's no, it's controlled by gears and off of the motor. All right. Pretty basic, pretty simple. We'll kind of turn them over so you can see. Right here is the battery compartment where you're going to put these batteries in. On the e-Revo, you have two side doors right here that a battery will go into. You can actually run this off of two batteries, but with my kids I only use one battery on it, so I don't have the splitter that splits it up. All right. So let's put some batteries in these things and let's go play with them and see what they do. All right, so here is the big box store RC, and I'm getting the help from my son Logan. Say hi, Logan. Hi. Hi. So he's going to drive it around. We're going to go and do some a little bit of jumps. We're going to take it into the rocks, so we'll see how it performs. All right, go ahead, Logan. So it's not like in the rocks.
Yeah.
All right, so now we're going to bring the e-Revo out, VXL. It's a 1/16 scale. My daughter Taylin is going to assist us with driving this one, and Logan, I think, is still wanting to play with the Bezgar, so we'll go ahead and let him play with that too. But Taylin's going to show you a little bit about this one and how it drives. All right, so that kind of wraps up the driving portion of it. We're going to talk a little bit about it. As you can see, the speeds, the E-Revo VXL, definitely went faster. My daughter did have a little bit of time controlling it. She's still new with playing with RCs, so she's getting a hang of it, as you can see towards the end. This little green guy technically was actually a surprise. It's a Bezgard. It went up the ramp and went off the ramp. It had some pretty good speed to it. It was durable. Luckily, nothing broke on any of the vehicles during everything. So this might be a little bit on the higher end of the big box store models. It's definitely not a rebuildable style like you saw with the E-Revo that we could replace where that motor was. The motor back here is encased in plastic, and so you have to unscrew. There's a little screw in the wheels. You got to take both wheels off, and then you can pull it apart and split it right here. So then you'd be able to get to the little motor in there, and it's just a little tiny motor that's inside of there. The steering, it doesn't have like a servo that you would be able to replace in this. It's in a little tiny plastic geared with a little metal housing that sets just underneath in this plastic that I don't think we'd be able to find a replacement for it at the steering servo. But the steering was really shaky. It's jittery when you're trying to turn it. So it's not really upgradable. The shocks are all plastic. They don't come apart. So if you break a shock on it, you're basically SOL. So not saying not to get an RC, I mean, from a big box store, but maybe that's where you start with your kids, if that's what you're interested in getting them into. Let them try it out. If they like it, and move on to a hobby grade RC. The difference is that there's parts readily available. This was a Traxxas. Traxxas has got parts all over the place. Back here, set in the back, the Creighton. You can get it at any of your local hobby shops here in the Valley in Arizona. But, you've got Horizon Hobby. You can buy them from eBay. You can buy stuff off of Amazon. So there's the parts are readily available. Shipping's pretty quick. Any part that I've ever ordered online is usually came in, between 2 to 3 days. Amazon, it's a hit or miss. Sometimes they have some of the parts located in the Valley here in one of their warehouses, and I can usually get them next day. Some of them are a third-party vendor through Amazon. So controller-wise, distance, I didn't really see that this guy fell out of range out of my neighborhood. So it definitely, it says that it's on a 2.4 gigahertz system. So I would say that, the range that my son had on this was pretty good for a big box store. The controller is all plastic. It's like really cheap plastic. I imagine if we drop this or it gets thrown or something like that, it's going to break. The hobby grade ones, these guys, it's more harder plastic. It's durable. This the handle on for the steering, it's rubberized, so a little bit more feel where this one wasn't. Some of the things about hobby grade ones, you can upgrade these. You can buy any controller you want with a with a receiver and install it into any of your RCs and be able to run it. And they even have controllers that will run multiple RCs. You got different channels that you can program into it. So I hope that this video was informative for you guys. If you have any questions, jump down into those comments. If you want me to compare any other types of brands that you want, let me know, and maybe I can put together another video. But this is going to conclude part 1 of my RC Basics series. We compared the Besdard 1/20th scale RC to the 1/16th scale eRevo by Traxxas. I hope you guys liked the video. Please like, subscribe, bash that bell, and we'll see y'all real soon. I am Stitch, SK Hobbies AZ. I'm out.